Hi students, so today we will study about the Krebs cycle, TC cycle or the citric acid cycle, and then after this we will study some few neat questions, previous year questions, and I will also tell you about the trick to learn this table, to learn the cycle. So let's start. In the cycle, pyruvic acid is converted into the acetyl coenzyme. This is not the part of citric cycle. This is a link reaction, right? Link reaction is also called as a oxidative decarboxylation reaction. So in this, pyruvic acid, which is a 3 carbon acid, is converted into the acetyl coenzyme A, which is a 2 carbon, in the presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase manganese 2 positive ion. So this is given in NCERT as well. So you have to learn this name of the enzyme, that is a pyruvate dehydrogenase. And in this, carbon dioxide is removing and NAD positive is converted into the NADH plus H positive. Look, this is a different reaction. This is not the part of Krebs cycle. This basically I'm telling you that acetyl coenzyme A, which form before, like from where this product substrate of the Krebs cycle form. So this substrate came from the link reaction. This is the link reaction, right? So now start the cycle. In this oxaloacetic acid, this is oxaloacetic acid, which is the first member of the cycle, which is 4 carbon, is converted into the citric acid cycle. So, in the presence of citrate synthase enzyme, during the formation, coenzyme is like coacetyl enzyme is removing and the water is being added, and the citric acid is basically the stable product, which is a 6 carbon product, right? So here I have written some intermediates. You don't have to mug up all the intermediates. You only have to learn from here. Alpha ketoglutarate acid, I have written all these just for your knowledge, right? So citric acid, which is citrate also, is converted into the 6 aconitic acid, and the water is being added here and forming the isocitrate, which is a 6 carbon. Look, these are intermediate which form less than seconds, right? Oxalosuccinate is formed here, and you have to this is very important in given in NCERT as well, like NADH positive is converted into the NADH plus H positive. This is converted into the alpha ketoglutarate acid, which is a 5 carbon, and this alpha ketoglutarate acid is converted into the succinyl coenzyme A. And this is very important to learn here, that carbon dioxide is releasing twice, in from converting into the oxalosuccinate to alpha ketoglutarate acid, and then to succinyl coenzyme A, which is a 4 carbon. 6 to 5 carbon we have to release a carbon dioxide, and from 5 to 4 we have released the carbon dioxide twice, and NAD positive is converted into the NADH plus H positive, and coenzyme acetyl coenzyme A is being added here. So this is important here, and here you have to see that coenzyme is being added again. So succinyl coenzyme A, which is a 4 carbon, is converted into the succinic acid, which is a 4 carbon product. Look here, this is very important here. This is a SLP reaction. This is substrate level phosphorylation reaction, and GDP is converted into the GTP, and coenzyme is removing and water is being added. So some student being confused here, like GDP is converted into GTP, what is this and what is a SLP reaction? So I have written here on NCERT, this is a line given here. In a coupled reaction, GTP is converted into GDP with the simultaneous synthesis of ATP from the ADP. So some student get confused from this line, so I have explain here, like ADP, when ADP is converted into the ATP, simultaneously साथ साथ GTP is converted into the GDP, right? And this GDP is converted into the GDP. I have written here, like GDP is converted into the GTP. GDP is being converted into GDP. So here, if this reaction is taking place, then you can assume like ATP is forming, right? ATP is forming. This whole is simultaneously synthesis. ATP is forming simultaneously in when GDP is converted into GTP. So when GDP is in the presence of phosphate forming GTP, and when GTP is changing into the GDP, then phosphate is releasing. For when phosphate is releasing and added to ADP, then forming the ATP, right? You can understood like GTP, when forming GDP, phosphate is releasing and ATP is forming. When one GTP is forming the one ATP. Okay. So substrate level is nothing but the when the organic compound is forming ATP directly, not in the presence of like NADH plus H positive, when forming directly. Like above is ETS, that is a oxidative phosphorylation, right? So succinic acid 4 carbon product is forming the fumaric acid, and this whole is written in NCERT. You have to learn this. I will tell you the trick later. Succinic acid, which is a 4 carbon, is changed into fumaric acid, that is FAD and FADH2, right? FAD and FADH2, and water is being added again, and malic acid is forming here, and then again the oxaloacetic acid is forming. So this is a whole cycle I have tell you. Now I will tell you the trick of learning this cycle, and this is also important, right? The Krebs cycle, this whole cycle is called the Krebs cycle, TCA cycle and citric acid cycle. Krebs, why we are calling is a citric acid cycle? Because first stable product is citric acid, right? Now I will tell you the trick. So our city and the country is okay, kept safe and secure from the monster. This is very easy to learn, right? Our country and the city and country is okay and kept safe and secure from the monster. And here O is representing the OAA, that is a oxaloacetic acid, and C for citric acid, and here again C cis aconitic acid. Here cis aconitic acid is isocitrate is forming. OK is a oxalosuccinate is forming, right? So you can learn this easily. So I have although write this as well, so you can easily learn the table, right? Now we will see some few questions of NEET. So you can see how many times decarboxylation occurred during the each TC cycle. As I have already told you, and I have also emphasized your attention here, that carboxylic acid is releasing 2 times. So the answer will be twice, right? Now the next question came in the 2022, right? And this one question came twice, like 2022 and 2023 as well. So here the 5 carbon product formed during the TC cycle. So you can easily see that alpha ketoglyceric acid is a 5 carbon product, right? So 5 carbon product. And why I have told you that intermediate, if you want to learn, you can learn here. So if you don't want to learn these intermediate, you can easily solve. But if you have solved, then you can eliminate as well. Like oxalosuccinate, I have already told you 6 carbon. So this will not be the answer. Succinic acid is a 4 carbon. I have already told you. So this is a 4 carbon, and fumaric acid is also the 4 carbon. Now the next 2 questions as well. The number of substrate level of phosphorylation in one turn of citric acid cycle. As I have already told that SLP is only the one when succinyl coenzyme A is changing into the citric acid. This is very very important, and this is also coming NEET so many times, that tell the in which SLP is happening in the citric acid cycle. So the when succinic coenzyme A is changing into succinic acid, this is a SLP reaction. This is very very important. So how many times? I have already told you that it is only the one time when SLP is forming in one turn. And in here this is AIPMT 2003. In which of the following do the two names refers to one and the same thing? So one and the same thing. If you, why I emphasize here your attention that learn the three all the name like Krebs cycle, TCA cycle and citric acid cycle. So you can see, like, you can easily know the answer here that TCA and the citric acid cycle is the answer, because Krebs, TCA and citric acid cycles are the name. So now you can also see the products here, forming products. One ATP is forming because only the one GTP is forming. So from one acetyl coenzyme A, only the one ATP is forming, and 3 here you can see like 1 2 1 2 and here 3, right? So 3 NADPH is forming. So in this 3 NADPH is forming and 1 FADH forming, 1 FADH2 forming. So 1 FADH2 and 2 carboxylic acid is releasing, right? If one glucose forming the 2 pyruvic acid, this is a glycolysis. I will also teach you the glycolysis later. And this cycle will twice, because 2 pyruvic acid is forming, because 1 pyruvic acid is forming 1 acetyl coenzyme A. So if 2 pyruvic acid is forming, then it will cycle will happen twice. So thank you students. If you like the video, please subscribe.